From a mud volcano in Malaysia that took a group of hikers by surprise, and a wild landslide in eastern India that nearly took out several buildings, to a mysterious tree in Alabama that left 3 arborists scratching their heads, and a group of determined boaters that quite literally pushed an island away from a bridge. Here are 10 mind-blowing moments caught on camera. North Adams is a small city in the northwest corner of Massachusetts. They're only a few miles from the New York and Vermont borders. In fact, they're much closer to Albany than they are to Boston. Most of the city is built along the Hoosick River, which flows 76 miles from the Cheshire Reservoir in Massachusetts to the Hudson River in Stillwater, New York. On January 13th of 2018, a local named Eric took his camera down to the river. It was a warmer January day, which caused the frozen river to thaw and break apart. He captured the stunning moment when giant sheets of ice broke apart and crashed over a short waterfall.
Speed it's picked up. That's all coming from underneath. That's all coming underneath. Holy cow. Oh my God, look, it's all moving. Ah!
Clearly, Eric is one of those guys who appreciates how satisfying Mother Nature can be. It's interesting how the surface ice remains intact while smaller chunks float underneath. Of course, the ice sheet was no match for the waterfall up ahead. Events like this can get dangerous, though. They can cause ice jams when the ice clumps up and blocks the river's flow. That can cause water to spill over and flood the surrounding community. They usually happen in the spring, but warm midwinter weather can still trigger them. Thankfully, the water kept things moving this time in North Adams, Mass. Birmingham, Alabama is the state's 3rd most populous city behind Huntsville and Montgomery. It's home to nearly 197,000 people and a group of tree cutters with an incredible story. What began as a typical cutting job quickly turned into a viral video. The crew arrived to chop a dying sweet gum tree on December 5th of 2021. According to our cameraman Mike, a cavity at the top had caused the tree to rot from the inside. The trunk filled up with water, leading to this stunning phenomenon.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Loco. A waterfall. Oh, wow.
Sweet gum trees are native to warmer regions across North America. You'll recognize one by its spiked fruit and 5-point star-shaped leaves. They kind of look like maple leaves. Now, while trees are constantly sucking water up from the ground, it shouldn't gush out like this. Mike thinks that water filled the gaps as the tree rotted. When they chopped into it, it was like opening a dam. Water gushing from the trunk could also signal wetwood, a bacterial disease in trees. The water will turn yellow or brown, produce gases, and take on a foul odor. Every year, local boaters gather on Lake Chippewa in Wisconsin to perform a one-of-a-kind task. With the wind at their backs, they use their boats to push a floating island away from the mainland and a bridge connecting the east and west sides of the flowage. This island isn't an actual island. It's a bog, or a wetland of soft, spongy ground made of decayed plant matter called peat. But this bog is unlike any other. It is massive, sporting a thriving ecosystem of trees, greenery, and local fauna. It's easy to see why you might confuse it for an island in the middle of the lake. In May of 2022, camera crews decided to document the community's annual housekeeping chore. Watch how these boats work together to push the bog away from the bridge. According to the boaters, it's all about getting the bog in the right spot. If they don't, it'll float back toward the bridge in a few days. They'll go from around 9 a.m. to 12 noon trying to position the bog. Unfortunately, it snared on some rocks this year and couldn't go any further. Peat bogs like this are crucial for the environment. According to National Geographic, they store enormous amounts of carbon through a process called carbon sequestration. Peat bogs all over the world sequester about 200 billion tons of CO2. That's why the Chippewa locals are more than happy to move the bog several times each year rather than destroy it. After a 20-minute trek through the Tabin Wildlife Reserve in Sabah, Malaysia, you'll come upon a soccer field-sized mud volcano. Various kinds of wildlife like to visit the area. When the volcano isn't erupting, it serves as a tasty mineral lick. Thankfully, the animals know to run away when the mud starts flowing. On September 18th of 2022, a group of guides and tourists were on their way to birdwatch at the volcano. Then, all of a sudden, they heard a loud bang, and bubbles began popping from the ground. They watched from the observation tower as mud quickly filled the area. According to Lawrence Chin, general manager of Tabin Wildlife Holidays, nobody was in any real danger. The mud was safe and not hot at all. Getting stuck in it would probably ruin your day, but it wouldn't burn or hurt you. That mud is full of delicious minerals that attract animals to the area once it hardens. Now, even though they can erupt violently, mud volcanoes are generally harmless according to the USGS. The mud that erupts is usually cold, if not slightly warmer than the ambient ground temperature. Panama City Beach is a coastal resort town on the Florida Panhandle. They claim to have the world's most beautiful beaches due to the sugar-white sand. It's no wonder vacationers flock to the area every summer. But one group of beachgoers got more than they bargained for on April 10th of 2021. A woman and her family were sitting in their rented condo when they got a tornado warning. Tornado, they thought, but we're in Florida. Well, that tornado was actually a giant waterspout forming deep in the Gulf of Mexico. Our camera woman had never seen anything like it, so she began recording. Little did she know, the waterspout was heading right for them.
It's coming right for us. No, I'm taking the video right now. This is like my dream come true. Holy cow. Oh my word. There's fish in it. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Hold on. It's right there. It's right there. I just want to see it. Holy cow. pillow. Oh my word.
Now, if you're trying to see a waterspout, which is basically a weak tornado over water, Florida is the place to be. They're more popular around the Keys, but can easily form further north in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not unusual for Floridians to see between 400 and 500 waterspouts each year. Sometimes you can get lucky and see a cluster forming offshore. While they are weaker than tornadoes, waterspouts can still cause damage. This woman's video shows how rough the waters get as the waterspout passes through. It's not something you'd want to be caught in. Soldotna, Alaska is a small city on the Kenai Peninsula. It's home to about 4,300 people and 2 pyromaniacs who tried to light a frozen lake on fire. On February 10th of 2015, our pyros came across an odd sight. There was a giant bubble of methane gas trapped under the ice. So they did what any normal American would do. They grabbed a pickaxe and a lighter and decided to film a viral video. To their credit, what they captured was pretty darn cool.
In the lake, huh? I smell burnt hair on you. Yeah. Magnificent. Can't see the flame, but... It's a good one.
Now, these guys could have called it a day, but they wanted to see if the ice fire would look even cooler at night. So they trekked back out with their trusty pickaxe and lighter to put on a show.
Yeah. Big one. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Hit it. Oh. Oh my God. Hit it.
According to NASA scientists, these lakes are called thermokarsts. They form as more of Alaska's permafrost thaws along with rising temperatures. Permafrost is ground that's supposed to stay frozen year-round. When it starts melting, giant ice blocks in the ground also melt and collapse several feet. Water, along with bacteria, invade the sinkholes left behind. It's like opening your freezer door and letting microbes eat all your food until they decompose. As they decompose, they release flammable methane gases. You can see the gas bubbles popping up when the lakes thaw. When they freeze, the gas collects near the surface. Sikkim is a landlocked state in northeastern India, wedged between the countries of Nepal and Bhutan. They normally worry about earthquakes and floods, but powerful storms off the Bay of Bengal can still pack a punch. In late May of 2021, Cyclone Yas made landfall in Odisha, bringing winds and heavy rain to areas around northeastern India. It weakened the foundation beneath a newly built retention wall, ultimately triggering a massive landslide. The landslide narrowly missed our camera person's house and the shack on the other side. From what we can gather, the wind and rain weakened the concrete barrier. There's also a road on the other side of that wall. Thankfully, nobody was driving by. If you look closely, you can see someone running away toward the upper left side. They must have seen the ground beginning to fail and knew to hightail it out of there. Unfortunately, landslides like this are very common in the mountainous regions of India. They're highly prone to torrential rains, and less than ideal construction means the infrastructure doesn't hold up well. Guiyang, China is the capital city of Guizhou province. It sits about 3,600 feet above sea level and is home to nearly 6 million people. They're a big science city and the main commercial hub of Guizhou. You'll find many Western companies there like Burger King, H&M, and Starbucks. But if you were in Guiyang on March 16th of 2023, you'd find nothing but hailstones raining from the sky. According to one local man, the storm opened up out of nowhere. Some people were dining outside when the hailstones ruined their meal. Another man was driving home when the hail began pelting his car. It fell so quickly that he had to use a shovel to bail himself out. He claims the hailstones were as big as ping pong balls. Unfortunately, they weren't as light as ping pong balls. Chen said they piled as high as 8 inches in some places. They damaged trees and branches on the way down, not to mention hundreds of people's cars. Fun fact, the largest hailstone ever recorded in the United States fell in Vivian, South Dakota on June 23rd of 2010. It measured 8 inches long and 18.2 inches around. That's about the size of a 10-pin bowling ball. The Kapuchi Glacier Lake hiking trails in Kaski, Nepal are the perfect escape from any busy life. It sits about 8,350 feet above sea level. Now, while that seems high, it's actually the country's lowest glacial lake. The hike still takes 5 nights and 6 days to accomplish. A group of hikers made their way up on January 11th of 2021. A few made camp near the water. One guy played the guitar while the others gazed upon the stunning lake. Then, they all heard a loud rumbling coming from the distant mountain.
Oh my god. What timing ma आथ्यो रे त यस्तो भयो हामी त बस्नुपर्छ होला यार यही पुग्छ यो त ल अब बस्ने यतिकै जे हुन्छ हुन्छ है म बस्दिए Oh my god. आउँछ आउँछ है किरण भाइ आउँछ अलिकति ढुङ्गा साइडतिर बस्नु है त कम अन हेर्नु यसरी उपर खसिरहेको छ एकदम ठुलो किसो हामी त लकी रहेछौ यार यही आयो हामी नभए ओइ आइपुग्यो यही आइपुग्यो ये भागे केटा हो ओ ये बडे सो यार
Lucky for them, the dangerous part of the avalanche happened off in the distance. Most of the ice and snow settled on the mountain. What you see coming toward them is a thin wave of frost and snowflakes. While they aren't in any immediate danger, moving was still a good idea. You never know what Mother Nature is going to do. The name Capuchi combines the words ka, pu, and chi. Ka means snow or ice, pu means breaking down and sliding, and chi means landing on flat land. Whoever named the mountain probably saw an avalanche and thought, I have the perfect name. Jinan, China is a prefecture-level city in Shandong province. It's among the oldest cities in the region, having played a critical role since the earliest days of civilization. Today, it's among the most important economic hubs in China. But, like the rest of mainland China, they are highly susceptible to powerful storms coming up through the Yellow Sea. On June 30th of 2021, one such storm arrived in town. Wind speeds topped 89 miles per hour in some areas, breaking a local record for the fastest winds ever recorded. Footage from around the city puts how fast that is in perspective. As bad as it looks, no major injuries were reported on the ground. While we can't put a dollar figure on the damage caused, we imagine it was pretty steep. Winds that fast put the Jinan storm on par with a Category 1 hurricane. This storm may have been the remnants of Typhoon Champy, a Category 1 typhoon that petered out around June 27th. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.